This woman right here is Takaya Shikimurua. She is not a normal girl. She is one of the hottest idols at the moment and the granddaughter of Takaya, Ashiki Taizo, the chairman of the Taiken Group, Japan's ruling corporate giant. Her wealth and influence are both far beyond any ordinary person, making her a real-life princess. On the other hand, this is me, Suzuki Kazuma, a plain, gloomy guy who doesn't even have friends, let alone a girlfriend, the textbook definition of a loner. If I had any definite meaning, it's that I happen to be childhood friends with Takayashiki Murua. I spent my whole life as Rua's shadow, but I don't want to be special like her. I just want to experience having friends and a girlfriend like a normal person. I once told her about how I felt, but her reply was, "Are you stupid? You're just a gloomy loser. Know your place. You are only worth being my childhood friend, and that alone has used up all your life's fortune. Get that in your head. Know your place. Know your place. Know your place." The word she had repeated to me since childhood weighed on me like a curse. I was nothing but a slave, but even then, I couldn't stop longing for a normal life. In the spring of my first year in high school, I got a text from her saying, "Hey, Kazu, can you make it to the train station at 3? I'm going karaoke with Ai-chan and the others. Will you come with us?" The main character thinks about it. That girl, Ai-chan, Hirakaki Ayaka, that flashy gal, I never even talked to her. Why me? He observed the girl saying, "Didn't you say you wanted to make a friend? A girlfriend? The best way to do that is to join an allied group like ours. Come on, you just need to take the first step." The main character thought this was the chance for him to change. He wanted to change, so he even dressed up as best as he could, gathered his courage, and went to a hairdresser. But as he got to the VIP club and opened the door, thinking, "I'm starting to become a new me in order to change," everyone started laughing as soon as he entered that room. They were saying, "Seriously? He really came? Gross, that's so funny. He even cut his hair, lol." Everyone was laughing. They were saying, "No way, he smells like he came out of a hair salon, and he's wearing a jacket, lol." I see. So this was a setup. The main character thinks, still keeping a cold face. His childhood friend said, "Wait, don't laugh, you guys." He really tried his best. Even she was laughing. Only the star girl, Ai-chan, wasn't. He observed his childhood best friend saying, "What's wrong, Kazu? You're just standing in that spot. Come on, cry already. I bet 10,000 yen that you would end up bawling." The main character says, "Just tell me one thing. Did I do something wrong?" He said, "What did I do to deserve this?" The girl says, "Huh? That's obvious. You're my slave. It's as simple as this. Go on and struggle in frustration. Put on a show for us now." He observed her evilish side, saying, "Honestly, I can't stand the thought that you are my childhood friend." When a main character heard all of these things, it felt like something just broke. I see. This must be the sound of a bond being shattered. The main character replied with, "Yes, same here. Let's cut ties, Rua." The main character said that out loud. She was absolutely shocked and devastated. In the next second, she started shouting, saying, "Who do you think you are? Do you even know what you're saying? A loser like you talking back to me." The main character replied, "You were the only one complaining in the first place." The girl said, "Huh? Don't mess with me, you idiot. I have every right to hate you, but you don't get to hate me. A brat like her being a top idol? The world has gone mad." The main character says as he punches the table with all of his force and leaves, "So it's settled." The guys sitting there all had their faces covered with sweat, saying, "That's so lame. Stop trying to act cool. You don't need to worry about that guy, Rua-chan." But the girl was devastated. "Hey, wait a second," Ai-chan says. "Is the table seriously broken?" It looked like the main character shattered the table in one punch. "Hey, no way, did he do this?" "There's no freaking way. It must have been cracked from the start. There's no way a normal person can break a table with his bare hands." "You're right." Everyone tried to calm down the girl. The girl, who was crying, says, "I will never forgive you for speaking of our friendship." But the main character finally felt some peace as he was going home. He says, "For some reason, I feel so refreshed. It's like the world itself is glowing. Why was I letting her control me all this time? I'd much rather face high school alone than sell my soul to a beast wearing human skin." We observe the glow in the main character's eyes as he says, "That's right. From now on, I don't have to live as her shadow anymore. I'm a free soul. The horizons of the main character had broadened, and a new adventure had started. That night, we observed the old man. This is the chairman of the Taiken Group and director of Taiken Academy, Takaya Taizo. Someone says, Grandpa, and the man's attitude changes to one of a grandfather, a loving one. As this happens, we observe the girl, the main character's childhood friend, coming in, saying, Listen to this. Kazu was being mean to me today. He actually said he's breaking off our friendship. The woman who was with the grandfather turned around, saying, Rua-chan, is that really true? He just ignored you. This is the cousin of the girl. Her name is Takaya Shukijigira. The girl says, I can't believe it. Kazu has never once opposed me until now. The cousin of the girl says, Did he really do that? She had sweat on her face and couldn't believe it. She asked, Maybe you said something nasty to him, didn't you? The girl was a bit startled as she says, That's not it. She says, I only said stuff like, You are my slave, or it sucks being your childhood best friend and all that. Everyone there exactly knew what happened, and the cousin of hers said, That's pretty bad, yeah. The grandfather says, Exactly. It's only natural that Kazuma would be mad. The girl couldn't understand it, saying, That's not true. I was just teasing him until, come on, the moment Kazu started high school, he suddenly wanted friends and a girlfriend. Isn't that ridiculous? Her cousin says, it's pretty normal to want to make more friends. The girl says, No, it is not. After all, doesn't he have me? The world's cutest princess, Rua, is always by his side, and yet the idea that he wanted to get close to anyone else, especially other girls, is unbelievable. So, it's totally fine for me to tease him just a little bit, right? I am the only one in the world. I'm the only one who understands him the most. That is because I love him. She says that out loud. Her grandfather says, Yes, it's Kazuma's fault, all that. He is the doting grandfather. Well, the cousin of hers says, But if you want to make up, Rua should be the one to apologize. The girl says, There is no way. She says to her cousin, Aren't you the mentor of his? Figure out something and make this right. Make him apologize to the adorable me and say, I really love you, Rua, and then kiss me. She says that out loud. Her cousin says, A kiss, huh? Well, great uncle, you intend to make him the husband of Rua-chan, don't you? Of course, that's why I assigned you to be his mentor, to teach him martial arts and the art of leadership. My granddaughter likes him too, and a talent like his is one of a kind. We observe the woman saying, Talent? Yes, you're absolutely right. I've never seen anything like that in my life. Ever since elementary school, his grades have always been straight threes. He purposely scored average to fit in. All of this was part of his training to become the shadow of Rua. If he were to stop holding back, forget getting straight fives, the whole school, the entire country, no, the world itself would be shaken. And if that wasn't enough, he's ridiculously popular with girls. I can't even count how many we had to transfer out because they liked him. Thanks to that, he doesn't even realize he's popular. We observe the girl smirking, saying, Foo, of course, that's my Kazu, after all. The grandfather says, Yes, he is a worthy candidate to take over the Taiken Group. The cousin of the girl says, But now that he has cut ties with her, Kazuma has no reason to suppress himself anymore. Whether it's athletics, academics, or even romance, things might spiral out of control now. The next morning, as school started, there was a bench, and on the bench was written, Looks like your seat was reset to day one. LOL. What's with this? Apparently, some dude actually went against the princess. Must be a dumb idiot. I see. So that's how it is. The main character looked towards it. He thinks, I had a vague idea, but that childhood friend of mine, that ultra-wealthy heiress and top idol, is nothing but the absolute worst pick of a human being. Well, in that case, there are only two options left for me. First, reset the desks and chairs to their proper place and attend class without making a fuss. And the other option, run to the staff room. Yeah, that isn't even an option for me because this is the academy owned by her, exactly her grandfather. Its mission is to train S-class talent and make it the world's number one. It is known by the public as S-Class Academy. Studying sports, those who excel in each field will be exempt from tuition and dormitory fees. Students from across the nation are recruited under a special scholarship system. Those with exceptional talent belong to the upper rank, while the common masses are designated as lower ranks. This caste system governs the academy, sometimes from behind the scenes, sometimes in plain sight. The most influential person in the whole academy is the girl, Takayashiki Rua, also known as Princess Rua. On top of that, the chairman of the school is her grandfather. Naturally, all the teachers are very sweet towards her. If I bring my complaint to the staff room, the results are obvious. In that case, will you choose option 1? Put everything back in place and remain silent in the class? No, since I made up my mind to live alone. As he brought out his pen, he says, there's a third alternative. This should be good enough. As he wrote below that, so with that, I will be studying on my own. Since this is an order from Takaya-san, please count me as present. Suzuki Kazuma. Everyone there was in shock, saying, no way, is this for real? Aren't they afraid of the princess? Now, then, it would be troublesome if someone found out, so that means here it is. As the main character opened the door, an underground library, this is a place that most of the students and even some teachers don't know about. Since I'm a regular at the academy, a senior from the library committee let me in on this secret spot. I'll wait here until class is over. I always want to just live a normal life. Well, now that I've gone against her, I don't think I'll be able to make any friends or a girlfriend. If that's the case, let me live on my own. As we observe him entering the room, the girl was changing her dress, and he saw her in her undergarments. She freaked out and screamed. At that moment, he had no idea about the story that was about to begin. Where I seek an ordinary life, I am being surrounded by extraordinary girls. This is the life of Kazuma. In days far from peaceful, his life shall begin. Meanwhile, his childhood friend thinks, I wonder if Kazu will be crying and apologizing soon. Looks like there's going to be much more fun than we anticipated. So, what are the troubles of the beautiful, eye-covered girl in cat-themed underwear? Meow, meow. The main character apologized to her, saying, sorry about earlier. I am Kazuma Suzuki from class 1 to 3. The girl introduced herself, covering her bosom, and said, I am a main Minato from class 3 to 2. I'm also sorry for raising my voice so much. The main character faced a different way, saying, no, I should have properly checked first before coming in. Did you also hear about this place from the senpai, from the library committee? The girl accepted these words while putting on her shorts. The main character, still facing away, said, I wasn't the only one told about it, as she put on all her clothes. It looked like sporting clothes. She opened the door, saying to the main character that she was now okay. Kazuma looked toward her, and we see the beautiful girl who apologized for keeping him waiting. The main character was quite blank in his expression as he asked, why are you in gym clothes? Actually, first, why are you changing here in the first place? She was startled by this question, apologized to him repeatedly, and said, I was looking for a place to practice my singing and dancing, and then I remembered someone once showed me this place. She tried to explain to the male character, saying, well, I'm actually a voice actress, and so I have an upcoming unit live. I thought I could practice here. We observed the main character saying, oh, you're someone from the entertainment world. Is that so? He remembered how, including his former childhood friend, several entertainment attendees attend the academy. She was probably one of them, an especially selected student. The academy had high hopes for her. He looked toward her, saying, you even brought a full-length mirror. You're really dedicated to it. Wait, but what about glasses? She was quite startled after hearing these words from the main character, looking down. Then he said, well, I got to school this morning, my desk and chair were put out into the hallway. She had tears in her eyes as she said, there was a sign saying, no seat for you. The main character had stern-looking eyes. Kazuma thought to himself, I've heard this somewhere before. So that's why she had tears in her eyes a moment ago. He felt rage as his phone rang with a notification. As he took a look at it, we observed the so-called princess of the school, Sinka Kazu, texting, where are you now? Isn't it late? Oh, did you see my videos from earlier? Everyone says you're a real jerk. You know what? I should do something. Maybe I'll leak your name in my next video. Then my fans will swarm you. Come on, drag your beautiful desk into the classroom already. Then, if you kneel on the ground for me and beg, I'll forgive you." The main character looked at it with a grimace in his eyes and tapped the block button. It looked like she had been blocked. Kazuma now gave attention to the student, Minato, as he said, "But why are you going through something like that? Aren't you an especially scholarship student here?" She replied, "No, no, that is not true at all. Even though I'm a voice actress, I'm not popular at all, and both my face and my voice are like this, after all." The main character, looking toward her, couldn't really understand it. "I can't really see your face well, because your bangs are too big, but isn't your voice pretty cute?" We observed her blushing at this compliment from the main character. He said, "It's like the sound of a bell ringing. I think it's a very pleasant, memorable voice." She, who had received a flustering bomb in front of her, turned her head, saying, "That's absolutely not true. There are so many people with better voices in the idol and voice actress world compared to someone like Showa Takayashiki. I am nothing." "Is that so?" the main character asked. By the way, the girl was talking about the so-called princess. "Even so, someone like me ended up forming a unit with Rui-san, which is probably why I got harassed like that." The main character finally understood everything. "Actually, yesterday on my social media, I got a ton of comments like, if she teams up with someone like you, Ruaheim's status will drop. There really are some awful people among her fans. I guess pigs attack pigs, huh?" he said. "In the first place, why did you end up teaming up with that pig anyway?" The girl looked toward him and said, "By pig, you mean?" "Yes, I said that out loud. Oops, I mean Takaya, Shikirua." Well, the girl didn't have a say in the matter. It was the agency's decision. "Rua-san and I are in the same school and the same agency. Since I'm plain and gloomy, they thought it'd be perfect as her background support." The main character thought, "That's pretty harsh to put it that way. Same agency as her? That would be Tokai Music, huh?" The agency would do anything to push through. After all, their parent company is the massive Tokai Group. No doubt even the whole desk and chair thing was Rua's idea as well. Even if it's the agency's plan, she probably just can't stand being paired up with someone beneath her. But as it is, Minato-san is just way too. We observed her saying, "But I'm okay with being the background support. It's a rare chance I've been given, so at the very least, I don't want to drag anyone down. I will, or rather, I want to give it everything I've got." The main character's eyes gleamed hearing this. She said, "Yes." The main character asked her, "That's why you came here to practice, of course?" She said, "Yes." The main character said, smiling, "I see. That's pretty cool of you." She couldn't understand, but he took her name, saying, "Minato-san, I'll keep you company with your practice. That's a promise. Though, to be honest, all I can really do is give feedback from a total amateur's perspective, but if that's okay with you." Her eyes shimmered as she accepted, saying, "I'll be counting on you, Suzuki." The main character, for the first time in his life, blushed, thinking, "How is this girl? Isn't she way cuter than that pig?" Lunch break arrived, and the main character thought, "Minato-san, she's been practicing non-stop since morning. I'm worried she might get dehydrated." So he brought her a drink. As he was called from somewhere, someone said, "Hey, Kazuma, where the heck have you been? Who do you think you are, skipping classes?" This was the so-called princess of the school. The main character thought, "Here we go again." She started blabbering, "Why are you ignoring me? You've blocked me on Messenger. Seriously, just so you know, there's no one who's allowed to ignore Ruaheim-sama. Or is it that my face is so beautiful that you can't look directly at me? Are you embarrassed or something?" But the main character just moved on. She started to get angry, saying, "Hey, wait." She said, "Oh, you gloomy idiot." It looked like it wasn't her. It was some kind of delinquent boy who said, "What the hell is with the silent treatment? It's rude to Rua-chan, you know." His name was Asano. Asano, was it? The baseball club's promising scholarship student. He has nothing to do but hang around that pig. If he has time to waste like that, why not practice instead? He should maybe try following Minato's example, shouldn't he? We observed the guy getting more and more angry, saying, "What's that look? Are you making fun of me?" He pulled a punch on him, saying, "Say something, hey?" We observe him trying to punch the main character, but the main character was faster than his speed. The boy thought, "I just punched him, didn't I? but I didn't feel anything. The main character was already behind him, and dread loomed over the boy. When he looked back, he saw the main character. He thought, this guy, when did he get behind me? Wait, didn't I just punch him? It didn't even have any effect. Maybe I missed? How lame is Asano? Weak or something? The main character said to him, "What's wrong, Asano? Are you out of shape or something?" We observed the guy getting even angrier. Say what? What did you say? He started to punch the main character, but it looked like Rua or Princess Rua stopped it, saying, "Stop it." He was quite startled by the girl asking that. She said, "The only one who's allowed to seriously mess with Kazu is me. You only get to mess with him if I explicitly tell you to. Don't lay a finger on him otherwise. You know your place." He couldn't understand anything but agreed to it because the girl was still in love with him. The main character took her name with a gleaming voice. She thought, "What is it, Kazu?" Blushing all over. But he said, "You really think that was cool or something, huh? Listen up and listen well. There is absolutely no one who's allowed to mess with me or bully me. I don't care who you are." He said that in a stern voice, a threat. She was quite startled herself, and the main character said, "Just leave me alone." She was on the ground as others tried to comfort her, saying, "Are you okay, Ruaheim? What the hell is that guy's problem?" But she, in herself, thought about how the main character was so cool. She was becoming more of a Yandere for him. 1 week had already passed, and it looked like our girl Minato was dancing on the floor of the hidden library. With her steps and music, she suddenly misfooted and was about to fall. But the main character caught her like a princess, saying, "Are you okay?" She was quite stirred, seeing the main character. She said, "Suzuki-kun, I'm sorry every time." The main character said, "Don't worry about it. I wouldn't want you getting hurt before the real thing." She said, "But you are so amazing, Suzuki-kun. No matter where you are, if I trip, you're always there, catching me all of a sudden." The main character told her, "It's nothing special," but she said, "That's not true. Ever since that day, you've been watching over me, encouraging me. You have no idea how much you've been a help to me." She cried her heart out, saying, "Suzuki-kun, I just want to say thank you so much." The main character was startled by these words, as no one in his life had ever said something like that to him before. He said, "But really, I didn't do anything special." He added, "More importantly, the part just now when you return to the center stage, wouldn't it be better to just walk back normally without the spin? You always lose your balance there, but it wouldn't look good on stage that way." It looked like the main character thought about it, saying, "I see. Then how about you jump back in one move? It might stand out more on stage." She tried to deny it, saying, "Impossible. The center of the stage is at least 5 meters away." Of course, the main character agreed with it, saying, "Yes, but if you use the strength in your knees like this." As he jumped over with all his strength and saw the sky from the ground, she was in quite a startling shock as he jumped down, saying, "See, like this." She was quite startled, saying, "That's impossible. What was that just now? You bounce like a trampoline or something. Normal people can't do that, you know? You're so cool. Your PE grades should be off the charts or something." But the main character said, "Nah, since elementary school, I've always gotten a 3 out of 5 in that." "I see. What is it?" she asked. The main character, confused, thought to himself, "Also, your posture is a bit off, I think." She agreed, saying, "Yes, I know. I've never been able to fix my slouch. The choreographer coach even got mad at me once." The main character stared at her, saying, "Then maybe, what if you took advantage of that slouch instead?" The main character moved in a movement like a cat's paw, saying, "Yes, like this. Young, male, mo." She even started copying the main character exactly. Just keep going into Satsuki's dance from there, as we observed her making cute cat poses here and there. The main character also thought, "Yes, it's super cute." She, who was all drenched in sweat, thought somehow, it's really started to click. The main character said, "Oh, that's great. You should ask the costume designer to make some cat ears and a tail." She said, "Yes," optimistically, but she had some doubts, saying, "Sorry, but I can't use that for the unit." He said, "Hey, why not?" "Why is that?" She said, "With this, I wouldn't match well with Rua-san, and my role in this is to make Rua-san shine. After all, The main character was a bit speechless, but said, Minato-san, is that really okay with you? She said yes. To begin with, singing while dancing isn't my specialty or specialization. I would actually want you to watch me practice my acting instead. After all, I'm a voice actress. I want to perform as an animal character. That's the wish I have. The main character saw her gleaming eyes. She continued, saying, That's why I'm giving my all to the work in front of me right now, hoping that even just a little, it will lead to voice acting opportunities. The main character said, I see. She is so positive. He had no words. When Minato-san talked about voice acting, she looked so full of life. He could really feel how much she loved her work. The main character said to her, I'm envious. She said, huh? He replied, It's just that I don't really have any dreams or goals, you see. She replied, Is there nothing you want to become? The main character replied, If I had to say, I want to be ordinary. I'm fine with not being anything special, you know. I just want an ordinary life that I can be proud of and say, This is who I am. I guess it's okay. She said, I'm sure you can do it. If it's you, Suzuki-kun, you can become ordinary. You can even become anything. The main character's eyes glowed, and he said, Thanks, Minato-san. Even she blushed as she said, By the way, Suzuki-kun, there was something I was wondering about all this time. I heard the other day that you got into a fight with Rua-san. I thought it could possibly be because of me. He said, No, that's not related. Not at all. She said, But Rua-san is your childhood friend, isn't she? Am I putting you in a tough spot? The main character said, Not at all. Actually, she's not my childhood friend or anything like that anymore, so I wasn't thinking anything like that. Is that so? She looked a bit startled and a bit sad for it. Then she said, Suzuki-kun, Katsuma-kun. Oh, if you like. She came close and said, If you would like to. As she was completing her sentence, we observed Princess Rua barging through the door, saying, Hey you, what the hell are you doing with Kazu in such a cramped place like this? Playing the wife, even though her chance is already dead. She looked toward the girl, Rua, and now was in tears. It looked like it was going to be memorable what happened here. We observe how Princess Rua has entered the hidden library and saw the main character, as well as Minato. She screamed at Minato, saying, I heard Kazu was in here, so I came to check it out, but what the hell is this? She pointed her finger toward Minato, saying, Why is he with the trash voice actress? She isn't even remotely popular. She yelled at both of them while pointing toward her. She is literal crap, stupid idiot, throwing insults. The main character thinks, is this girl in elementary school or something, throwing out swear words like that? She kept going, saying, So the reason Kazu has been vanishing right after school lately is because he's meeting this girl in secret? Why would you go out of your way to be with someone so gloomy, ugly, and hopeless? She started saying more things, but then stopped and was speechless for a bit. She started crying, saying, No way, I hate this, and mumbling some words. The main character, as well as Minato, were quite shocked as she wiped her tears, saying, No way, why isn't Kazu next to me? Why is he next to this trash girl instead? Minato tried to say, Rua-san, this is all my fault. Kazuma-kun was just helping me. But as she said that, Rua clenched her collar and came right in front of her face, threatening her, saying, Say Kazuma's name once again. We observe Minato getting on her knees, saying, Suzuki-kun, yes, it's Suzuki-kun. Basically, Princess Rua wanted her to drop the first name basis. She said, That's right, and know your place. She continued, saying, Getting close to Kazu? A million years too soon, you forehead curtains weirdo. I bet you're ugly underneath those bangs. As she removed the hair from Minato's eyes and forehead, we observed an even cuter version of Minato. Seeing this, Rua was absolutely shocked as she covered those bangs, saying, You, under those bangs, have you even shown that to Kazu yet? She couldn't understand, as Rua took out a duct tape thing that was close by. Now, quickly wrap up that hair with the duct tape, she said. The main character called her out, saying, Hey, cut out already. Aren't you supposed to be in the same group as her? And where did you even pull that duct tape from? She was a bit flustered as she replied, That's right. She is just the support role anyway. Someone like her. The main character stopped her in her tracks, saying, that so-called sidekick of yours trains like crazy, even more than you, every single day just to hold her own. So don't get in her way. Ruo was shocked, yelling at him, saying, why are you taking her side? You're my childhood friend. Why wouldn't you ever take my side? He replied, I stand by people who work hard, and reminded her, you and I aren't childhood friends anymore. Did you forget what I told you earlier? She was in a bit of a stupor as she said, what the hell, Kazu? You're still mad about that other day? That was just a joke. The main character asked her, a joke? How many people have you hurt with your so-called jokes? You're in high school now. Don't you know the difference between what's okay and what's not? He closed the distance and said, you're the only one who needs to learn your place. She was flustered by these words of the main character as he moved along and asked Minato-san to follow him. Kazu, you idiot. I'm way cuter than that girl. Rua said those words as she looked toward them leaving. There's no way I would lose to some trash-tier voice actress like that, she yelled, but they were gone. Outside the school, Minato-san apologized to Kazuma, saying, I'm sorry, it's my fault. Rua-san was angry. He replied, you don't need to apologize, Minato-san, because you just gave me a great idea. An idea? She said. He replied, yes, if we can poke at that oversized pride of hers just right, we can totally throw her off her game. We'll call it the Manga Name dance operation. She couldn't understand, but was happy. At a nearby store, the main character bought some black cat pins. Minato-san asked him, Suzuki-san, what are these? He replied, I just picked them up over there. Minato-san, do you have a YouTube channel? She said, yes, sort of. He replied, then wear these and upload yesterday's cat dance. I'm sure it'll catch people's attention. She was a bit hesitant as she said, but my channel has barely any subscribers. I don't think it'll get much attention at all. He replied, I'll help you with that part as well. Besides, with that dance of yours, I'm sure it'll be fine. Just trust me. Blushing, she said, okay, I understand. He replied, also, when you record the video, would you consider lifting your bangs? She was a bit hesitant, but the main character assured her, saying, Minato-san, you're seriously cute. It'll be a waste to keep hiding that pretty face of yours. She was absolutely flustered. She said to the main character, it's just that I'm scared of people looking at me. I can't relax unless I'm behind my bangs. I don't think I need to fix that. I'm sorry. He replied, I see. Has your agency ever said anything about it? She said, not really, at least not until the group disbands. It suits the supporting role image more this way. The main character said, that figures. She should have just gone solo from the start. Oh, apparently that's the plan, she said. The group is just for publicity. It'll get disbanded just after one CD release. The main character said, showbiz is dirty. She replied, but our agency is basically owned by Rua-san's grandfather, and when it comes to popularity or looks, she's way out of my league. She continued, saying, going up against someone like Rua-san, is that really okay? He was a bit speechless, thinking, the lack of confidence in Minato-san, it must be because of the environment around her. In this world, people try to hammer down anything that stands out. There are so many things like that, whether it's school or showbiz. Since she's been surrounded by people like that, no wonder she's lost all her confidence. But she said, Suzuki-kun, your childhood friend with Rua-san, right? And she likes you a lot. That's amazing. He replied, not really, it's just quite annoying, and also said to her, can you please just call me Kazuma? She had a blush in her eyes as she said, then I'll call you Kazuma-kun, and if it's all right with you, I'd be happy if you'd call me Amain. Got it, Amain-chan, the main character said. Hearing this, she got quite blushy and flustered as she almost passed out on the table. He asked, is something wrong? She said, I'll do my best for the video shoot. The scene shifts to YouTube as she was making a video. Hello, I'm Minato Amain, a voice actress. Today I'll be dancing to my original Amain 9 dance. She only had around 41 subscribers and 5 comments. She started by saying, I'd be really happy if you watched till the end. Well then, here I go. She did the dance that the main character taught her in the second chapter and performed it very gracefully. At the end, she said, the song I just danced to I'll be performing it live at an event this Sunday. If you're free, please come check it out and please subscribe to my channel. With that, her battery died, and it was quite a cute look. Even the main character agreed it was nice, but it looked like there were some mean fans of Rua in the comments. There were some hate comments, but there were real viewers as well. The main character thought, yes, I'll check out her channel too. Not that I'm into it or anything, it's just for information gathering. At YouTube, he searched Rua's channel and observed her yelling his name on her YouTube channel. She had 1.1 million subscribers and almost 2,000 comments. She started saying, "Idiot, stupid grab thrower, why don't you notice how amazing I am?" Going into a frenzy. Then she completely changed her nature, saying, "Hello, YouTube, it's me, Rua Hajime, your one and only Rua." Ahem, that just now was a little something called emotional expression acting. Were you surprised by that? I was channeling some recent, maybe I should go all out on acting. That was your super motivated Rua Hajime signing off. Keep cheering me on, okay? See you soon, as she made a pose. The scene shifted to the main character watching this and thinking, what even is that? Fine then, if that's how you're going to play it, I'll crush you without holding back, he said as he smiled. Rua's popularity as an idol video racked up tens of thousands of views in a few hours. In contrast, Amain's video sat at just around 50 views. The gap in recognition was undeniable. Still, the cuteness of the Nyan dance was the real deal. If people would just see it, it would definitely spread. What I need to do is make that happen by helping her, he thought as he posted something on his social media, saying, "This video is great, give it a watch, and if you like it, share it." We get to know that Kazuma Suzuki is an introvert, plain, gloomy, and doesn't have many friends, but online, it's a different story. In a certain mobile game, he's even the wise leader of a pretty big clan, so he's got a lot of network. A few days have passed, and it looks like Amain cannot believe it. Her video has 500,000 views in 3 days and over 3,000 comments. She asked, "Kazuma-kun, what on earth did you do for it to get this many views in just 3 days?" He said, "Nah, I just helped spread it around a little." Sure, but if the video itself didn't have great content, there's no way it would have gone viral like this. He said to her, "It's all thanks to your talent, Amain-chan." She was very happy, laughing as she said, "I'm so happy. Just now, someone I didn't even know told me they were coming to my event. That's awesome." The main character replied, looking toward the poster of Rua, thinking she's been aggressively promoting her event too. Apparently, a lot of Taikai Academy students will show up at this event. Now all that's left is for her to take the bait. As Rua entered the door of the secret library, she was wearing cat ear beads on her head, saying, "I'm here again, Kazu." Now the main character thought, got her hooked. Amain said, "Rua-san is wearing cat ears." "What?" She replied, "I saw it, your dumb video. You think you're hot stuff just because you wore cat ears? But if we're playing by the same rules, there's no way someone like you could beat me or even come close. The Sunday event will be a cat ear showdown. I'll make sure everyone knows who's the real cutest and most popular." The main character looked toward her with agony, saying, "Knew she would go there. We were childhood friends, after all. I get how her brain works." That twitch at the corner of her lips, a dead giveaway that she's trying to hold back her frustration. Now everything is in place. Let the rebellion against the top idol begin. At the day of the event, we observe a cute-looking Amain-chan in a fairy-like dress. The main character called her out, and she acknowledged him as he asked, "Wait, isn't the dressing room the other way?" Amain said to the main character, "It's Rua-san. What happened was that she told her manager she doesn't want to breathe the same air as me." "Nobody," the main character said. "That's big, so it'll be over here." She said, "It looks like she's been given a storage room of some sort." The main character said, "But maybe this is actually better. At least we won't be interrupted now." He said to her, "It's showtime soon, but as long as you do it like you always do, you'll be fine. I've watched you practice every day. You've improved a lot. Amain-chan, be confident." She was a bit shocked as she asked the main character, "Kazuma-kun, why are you going this far for someone like me? I've been wondering for a long time about it. This whole time, why, just why?" The main character thought about it, saying, "Why, you ask? Don't you think that our school is just a bit too suffocating? She asked. You mean how they favor the scholarship students? He replied, yes, I know it happens everywhere, but at Taikai, the discrimination is way too obvious. But if someone like you, who isn't a scholarship student, could shine, I think it could open a hole in the wall this school has built. She couldn't understand. A hole? By me. The main character said, though that part's more of an afterthought. At first, I just saw how hard you were trying, and I wanted to cheer you on. That's all. She took the name of the main character and blushed a bit. The main character got something out of his backpack and handed her a cute cat earpiece. He told her about how he had made this for her. She was shocked. You made this, Kazuma-kun? He said, yes. I was trying to find something that would suit you the best and figured it would be faster for me to make it myself. She thanked him so much, saying, I'm really happy. As she put it on, she said, I'll do my best. But the main character said, that's not it. He came closer to her, shifted her bangs, and patted her head a bit, saying, this is how you wear it. Yeah, I know that this looks way better on you. She was absolutely mesmerized by it, saying, Kazuma-kun, what are you? He said, I tried changing my hairstyle once. Someone invited me to karaoke, so I mustered up the courage and went to a salon. I felt like I was a whole new person, as if I was reborn. In light novels, there's usually a time when everyone suddenly sees you differently, but that wasn't the case for me. They just pointed and laughed at me. But Minato Amain, you're different. You're someone who can shine, absolutely, because you, Amain-chan, have a bigger dream, and you've worked so hard to chase it. As someone knocked, and the organizer said, Minato-san, you're up now, the main character said to her, go out there and steal every last one of that pig-faced idol's fans. As he held her hand, she blushed, and as she was leaving, she said, here I go. A girl who shines has no enemies.